Hey, what's up, it's Skippy? How you doing? Hey, I got my Bane uh, face thing on. I gotta wear this to breathe while I sleep. It sucks, but if it's gonna make me stay alive a little bit longer, I guess. Okay. Um. Hi, I want to say Happy Memorial Day to all the veterans and all the awesome people out there who do stuff for the country. Thank you for your service from another guy who did service. Anyhow, I um I want to talk about what happened last night. Everything was great. Like it is incredible how like quickly shit can go sour sometimes, but it was I'm very thankful um that more people didn't show up. I went. It's Memorial Day this weekend on Monday, and Benihana's, the teppanyaki Japanese steakhouse, they were kind enough because I like to go online on like Veterans Day and Memorial Day and see if there's any freebies or anything for veterans. Lo and behold, Benihana's and all their kindness, I highly recommend signing up for their e-club. They got a lot of good deals. They send you a $30 gift certificate for your birthday. Um, Not a sponsor, by the way. I just love their food. I love the show they put on. I've always been a fan of Benihana's. I got many Benihana stories. I got so many Benihana stories. Like one time, I actually worked for a fireworks wholesaler. I worked for a company out of Pennsylvania, and I was in the fireworks game for a while, and my boss sucked. Like you could like the guy sold sky candy, and he was the most boring motherfucker I ever met in my life. And I want to say something to a lot of people out there. Okay, if you want to make a lot of money in a very very short period of time, fireworks. Damn phone. I'm charging my phone. It died just like I did last night. But fireworks. Why do I say that? Fireworks have such incredible markup. The guy I worked for, um, if you bought over 3,500 bucks worth of wholesale fireworks, he gave you like a 50% discount. What? But the markup is insane. But you also have out in China, you have entire villages that have been making fireworks for centuries. Because I know you think communism's bad, but it means communal, and that's what they've lived in. They have a different traditional lifestyle. And there's different communities, like Lantern brand and this brand and that brand, but they're all different communities that sit there and they make firecrackers and just, they're working communities. And it's really neat. But I sold fireworks. And mind you, also one of the best jobs to steal from. I was taking some fireworks and trading them for, I don't know, drugs, but it was awesome. I used to, shut up phone, stupid thing, but it has to charge. Anyway, yeah, I used to load up the station wagon, shall we say, but because the inventory in that place was insane, and I worked with the dumbest people on earth. But whatever. My boss sucked, and he fucked me over so many times. He kept screwing me over on pay, and so I didn't feel bad when I stole from him. He like He told me I was going to be making 35 grand a year. This is back in the 90s. 35 grand a year. Then I went down to 32 grand. Then I went down to 28. When he got to 26, I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, who the fuck do you think I am? You know, because I was getting hourly and everything, and he had promised me. I was like, fuck you. But he was a piece of shit. But we went to this thing because they have conventions for fireworks. And I went to this thing called the Western Pyrotechnics Winter Blast. They had them in Lake Havasu, Arizona in February. I saw some insane shit happen there. I saw a dude's foot explode. They're just crazy shit, man. Just watch out. Explosives are nothing to fuck around with. Like, seriously. Like, I used to work with this dumb bitch. I got his stupid wife a job in the marijuana industry because he was tired of having her around. So he was like, you know, I'm going to make this bitch work so I don't have to. So she got a job. I got her a job in this laboratory. She blew up the laboratory. Okay, we work with butane, the stuff inside of fucking lighters. Okay, that's what they use to chemically strip marijuana. It's a hydrocarbon extraction. But this bitch blew up the laboratory not once, not twice, 3 fucking times, and my idiot fucking boss at the time, he kept rehiring her. I think they may have been having an affair, but that's just me. I don't know. She had a big crush on him because he was a child actor, but whatever. They're all fucking assholes to me. Fuck that bitch. And also, that dude, getting back to the Benihana story, I invited the dude got the bitch the job. I invited him yesterday because he's a veteran, but he's a fucking... Fuck him. He never texted me back. Anyway. What was I saying? Okay, so, yeah. Explosives, blah, blah, blah. We were at the Western Pyrotechnics Winter Blast. And we were in Vegas before and after the convention. And I have a penchant for just throwing a random $20 bill into a Wheel of Fortune dollar machine. And I don't know how I do it sometimes, but the first time I ever did it, I won a fortune. I won a Wheel of Fortune. I won $1,200 off of one machine, and then I won 250 quarters off another machine. Or no, 1,000 quarters, $250 off another machine. That was my first time in Vegas. Every time in Vegas, I like to just throw some money into the Mega Bucks and Wheel of Fortune just randomly, just because. I just have weird luck. Like I said, me and Fireworks Boss, were out in fucking Vegas. This idiot, he's so fucking boring. He was like, hey, I'm going to go see a movie. I'm like, you're going to go see a movie in Vegas? He's like, yeah. I was like, I don't want to say his name. I was like, you do realize they have movies back in Pittsburgh, right? Yeah. Like, they don't have Vegas in Pittsburgh, bitch. But needless to say, I threw $20 into a Wheel of Fortune machine and made $900. And then this asshole, I was like, I treated him to dinner because he paid for my flight and everything else. So I treated him to dinner at Benihana's. And he was like, I'm going to watch how you spend your money. I'm like, this is my money. He's like, well, I'm going to take notes because I'm going to watch see how you spend my money. I'm like, fuck you, fucking weirdo. I'm treating you and this is how you're treating me. Whatever. And you wonder why I stole from the bitch. But anyhow, Benihana'S. Yeah. I love Benihana'S. Another story about Benihana'S. You know, I'll just tell some fucking Benihana'S. Okay, so I used to have these friends. They were really good friends of mine until they outed themselves as racists, and I was like, I'm good. Like, I hate that when people do that. Like, just show you who they are. Like, by saying just the most unnecessarily... like, what this individual did was discredit President Barack Obama by calling them the N-word. And all I kept thinking to myself was like, well, what did your white trash ass ever do? And she called him the N word, and I was just like, you know what? I just, some of my best friends are what you call, yeah, I, bye. And it sucked too, because she was a really good friend, but, but when you out yourself, it's like, I'm sorry. I can't be around that. I don't know. I'm strange in the sense that, like, I don't really, like, I kind of noticed a long time ago when I was a kid that, a black person, a handicapped person, a Japanese person, they're all persons. We're all just persons. I try to keep it simple. Until you do me wrong, we're all good. That's why I'm just like, I'm not judgmental. I don't like when people judge me. That's why I'm not judgmental. It's not worth it. Don't be prejudiced. You know, it's like I'm not prejudiced against looks. I'm not prejudiced against height, except if, you know, you're, uh, nah, I'm not. What was it? But yeah, it's just. But I was with these people before they became. They outed themselves as right. I was with these people. They're my friends. I was back home in Pittsburgh. We went to Benihana'S in West Mifflin. And we ate dinner. I don't know what it is, but man, there's another story about me having diarrhea at Benihana'S. Hold on, what the fuck? Okay, here we go. Oh shit, what the fuck? Okay, so anyhow, I was with these people. We had dinner at Benihana'S. Dinner and a show. Chop, 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 juggling shrimp. It was great. And then I had to go. I got the grumblies in my stomach, and I was like, "Oh, I gotta go take a dump." And it was like one of those, like, I got the big D. I got just nothing but liquid happiness. And as I'm running to the bathroom, I hear, "Hey, Skip!" And I see it's the husband of the woman of the guy who I had been cheating on. I had helped his girlfriend cheat with me. Me and his girlfriend had a relationship behind his back. Okay? Okay. I didn't know she had a boyfriend. Her best friend told me she had a boyfriend, but that was late in the game. Anyhow, me and this girl, I used to do stand-up at the Funny Bone in Station Square. Her and her friend worked at this coffee place. I was originally attracted to her friend, but I ended up hooking up with this other girl. And that's the girl who has the boyfriend who works at Benihana'S, who I'm about to talk about. So, yeah, I started, like, fooling around with her. We had a good time. Lots of good times. But, anyway, I'm running through. I gotta go take a dump. I'm running through the bar. "Hey, Skip!" I hear. And I see it's homeboy, and I'm like, "Hey, man, what's up?" He's like, "Hey, man, I gotta talk to you." I'm like, "Oh, shit." I'm like, "I'll be back." I'm like, I had to fucking take a dump. Hardcore. I went in there, and I took at least 15 minutes. And I know my friends. This is like before, like cell phones and shit. And I know my friends are out in the car waiting for me and everything. And I am just melting in the bathroom. It's horrible. And I'm thinking, oh great, after I leave here, I got to deal with even more shit at the bar. All I kept thinking to myself was like, this dude's gonna punch me in the face. Shut the fuck up, phone. I'm not that fucking popular. So, yeah, I get done, go out, and homeboy's like, "Hey, Skip, come here. I want to talk to you." I'm like, "All right, cool." I sit down at the bar, and we start talking and everything's cool. I'm like, all right. And he comes around the bar and he, like, sits next to me. He's the bar manager. Okay, just so you know, it's a bar area at Benihana'S, West Mifflin. He was the bar manager. So, he grabs like a carafe of sake and some cups, pours it, start drinking. Then he pulls out a picture of a kid. And I'm like, who's this? And he's like, oh, me and Jamie had a. Whoops. Damn it, I said her name. Oh, well. Me and so had a. We had a. Whatever. We had a kid. And all I kept thinking to myself was like, oh, where's my line? It wasn't. Shut the fuck up, phone. Um, Needless to say, he was very happy. We drank some more, talked more about his kid, talked more about his wife. Used to be his girlfriend. Used to be my girlfriend too. But whatever. Yeah. I thought he was gonna punch me in the face. Like I seriously, the whole time I kept, when's he gonna punch me in the fucking face? But he was like saying all this like positive things and saying all these like, he's very happy and this. I'm like, well, cool. I'm gonna help you ride the wave, bro. And then he leans into me and he goes, hey, Skip, I want to talk to you about something. Like, here it comes. This is where I get punched in the fucking face. He goes, hey, listen, I'm just a dumb guy with a big dick. I'm like, okay. He goes, and I travel all the time, and I screw around with other girls and stuff. And I know Jamie, she screws around with other dudes. I'm like, okay. He goes to me, I kid you not. He goes to me, just want to let you know, of all the guys she's fucked, you're my favorite. And he poured another thing of sake, and I was like, I will drink to that. Boom. And that's when my friends showed up and everything, and they were like, what have you been doing? I'm like, hey, you got to meet so-and-so. We were talking about such and such, and da-da-da-da-da. And then I told them the story in the car. It was funny. But, yeah, so Benihana'S, like I said, I love Benihana'S. I've been to Benihana'S a billion times. And, like I said, they give you a $30 gift certificate for your birthday. And yesterday they had a really good deal for veterans. They have the 5-course thing if you buy an appetizer, which I did. I got the shrimp tempura. It was fantastic. I went with my best friend, Yuli. What's up, Yules? He's amazing. He's like my partner in crime. Because, like, we're the same age, and, like, we're going through the same shit together. So I got heart problems, and he's like, we're just, it's fun, like, it's fun growing up with someone who's the same age as you, who has the same, shit going on, because, like, it's hysterical. We talk about, the same things we always talk about, girls, and just, like, music, and fun shit, and he's the best. He's like I said, he's always down for whatever. Always down. That's what I love about Yuli. Ulysses, and he's got, if you guys ever need an amazing recording studio, he is the owner of Laundry Room Recording Studio in Pasadena. It is one of the very few digital and analog recording studios left in the world. If you need an analog sound, a big analog sound, he's got reel to reel. He can help you out. Yeah. And he's on, if you're on my Instagram, he's under Laundry Room Recording. Get a DM. He's got great prices too. And yeah, not a sponsor, but just the best friend. So, anyhow, Yules, I called up a number. Well, I texted, like I said, I texted dude whose wife I got a job. He hasn't texted me back. He's a fucking loser. Whatever. You can only do so much for so many people before you be like, whatever, bro. You just, there's friends like Yuli, and then there's people who only call you when they need something. Okay, and that's kind of what this person is. But who cares? Still in my circles, but Yuli's the best. Anyhow, so I invited Yuli. He was like, fuck yeah, let's go. I invited homeboy. He hasn't texted me back. It's too late because we already went. And I also texted my friend Claire, who I love to death. it's amazing how much you can be in love with somebody and be enamored by them and just be, she's the best. Like, she's just the coolest. She's in cons right now. Like, she's in France at cons. I texted her. I'm like, hey, you want to go to Benihana? She's like, I'm still in cons. I'm like, all right, have fun. She's so cute. But yeah, she's a world traveler, just does amazing stuff, and I'm just enamored by her. But we went to Benihana's for my birthday, and she didn't have to do this, but she just bought everybody. She invited two of her friends. I had Yuli, and she just bought She didn't have to. Like I said, the kindness of this person is absolutely overwhelming. And why wouldn't I invite her again? I would have bought for her the same way I bought for Yuli last night. But it doesn't matter. It's like I just love her. She's an amazing human being, and I miss her. I wish she would be around more, but I'm not selfish. She's got a life, and she's half my age, and she's got a life. She's great people though. That's why I don't get to hang out with her a lot, but when I do, it's fucking awesome. Yep, last time I came down to her place, she lives in Venice on the boardwalk. I brought down a huge bag of like nacho chips and bread and stuff, and her friend was there. He's like, "What's that?" I'm like, "We're gonna throw shit at seagulls," and he started cracking up. That's what I do. I like to have fun. I like to throw shit at seagulls. And by throw shit, I mean feed. What was I gonna say? So yeah, I invited a number of people, but only Yuli came, and I was still happy. Yeah, because Yuli's the best. We went, we had a great time, and then, because it was fun. The only problem that I had was we were at a table full of the most boring fucking people on earth. There's no excitement, and I wanted the teppanyaki chef to fucking, he was doing all his fucking tricks, and I was loving it, and these people were like, I'm like, oh my god. And it was these one people's first time, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, you can't be like, whoa, oh. Even when shit was on fire, they were like, whoa. I was like, fucking boring ass people. Whatever. But food was amazing. I had the steak and chicken fried rice, and they didn't have iced tea. I was so sad. But whatever. I drank water. And I had chocolate ice cream. And here's the thing. Afterwards, I felt fine. We left, felt great. We went for a walk around Santa Monica because Benihana'S was on 4th. So we walked down to 3rd Street Promenade, walked down, saw all the empty storefronts because the landlords are fucking assholes and jacked the rent of everything in Santa Monica. So now the place is a ghost town. Because greed. Yeah, fuck yeah, American greed. Fuck yeah, look where it's getting us. Fuck Jeff Bezos. That's all I guess. But, yes, shut the fuck up, phone. So yeah, we went to we walked around the 3rd Street Promenade, and then I started getting the grumbles, the tummy grumbles. I was like, oh, this ain't good. This ain't good. And then I started going into shutdown. I started getting cold sweats and everything. It's like, Yules, this is bad, bro. This is bad. Because we had plans. We were going to go to DK's Donuts. If you don't know what DK's Donuts is, Donut King. They made a documentary about him. I love Donut King. When I'm in Santa Monica, I go to DK's Donuts simply because I want to support this family as much as I can. I mean, this guy is a fucking hero. During the Vietnam War, he sponsored so many families to come over from Cambodia to start a new life and get out of war. And that's how we have all these amazing donut shops here in Los Angeles. And bagel shops. Oh, their bagels are amazing. But not as good as New York, but whatever. But yeah, DK's. We were going to go to DK's. We had plans. But unfortunately, the plans had to get changed. It was sad. It was really sad because like we went back to we walked from Wilshire and 3rd. We walked up Wilshire to 4th, and I couldn't. I thought the walk was gonna be shorter. It was torturous. My God, like that's when everything became torturous. The walk to Benihana'S with the cold sweat, and I felt so bad because like Yuli was talking to me and making jokes, and I was just not in a joking mood, and I was just like, I kept walking faster. I was just like, oh God, I just blah 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 blah. But he understood, and that's what I appreciate. He's understanding, and went back to Benihana'S, and I did a gadouche. It was bad. So bad I had to go back and do it twice. That's why I'm glad we didn't leave. And then at that point, I was just completely ghost white and sweating. Like, people in Benihana'S were like, don't talk to him. He's just fucking, he's gone. Like, I was just like not making eye contact, head down, just like, oh my God, I'm horrible. Everything is awful. Long story short, Yuli drove me home, and it was the most torturous ride on earth. I felt bad for Yuli because he was just dealing with my bullshit, and I was just I was having trouble breathing. I was having trouble communicating. My thoughts were just going scrambled eggs. It was bad, dude. And also, I told Yuli, I'm like, I told him when he dropped me off, I've been holding a fart in the whole time because I'm scared it's not a fart. And I'm so glad I did that. And I even told him, because I contacted him earlier, because he was worried about me. Because he's a great friend. And I told him that, yeah, that fart wasn't a fart. It was, wow, it was horrible. I came home and vomiting, and I was just expelling it from everywhere. I spent 7 hours in the tub, because that's my thing, is whenever I have food poisoning, because my bed right now, I have to take all the sheets off, I have to take all of my pillows, I got to take everything down to the laundromat. Everything is saturated with my sweat. It's still freaking wet. It is just wet. It is so gross. Like, my sheets, 2 thin slate blankets, completely wetted out. I mean, I went through about 8 pairs of underwear, about 20 shirts, every one of them just completely soaked. Like I said, I spent about 7 hours in the tub because I just could not. When I get food poisoning, I get in the tub simply because I want all of that toxic sweat to just pour out of me. Okay? If I wear a shirt, it becomes saturated, so why bother? Just get in the tub, sweat it out in there. That, and it feels amazing. I love taking baths. But I wish it was under better circumstances, because I was just so restless. I just had, like I said, I had trouble breathing. I was worried if I took my medication I was going to throw it up, but luckily I didn't, because I had to take my heart meds. Even while I was panicking from food poisoning, I still had the responsibility as an adult to take my meds. Luckily I kept them down. And yeah, it was just treacherous, this whole ordeal. Like, I didn't leave the tub until about 7 o'clock this morning. And then I just tried sleeping and I couldn't. And what was happening was I kept putting on shirts, putting on underwear, getting underneath the blankets because I was shivering so much, because I get into this hypothermic state where I'm just completely going into shutdown and freezing to death. It's horrible. And so I try to get warm, and then all of a sudden I just start sweating profusely. The sweat turns to chills, the chills turn to shivering, and the shivering turns to get naked, jump back in the tub because I don't take the water out of the tub. I leave it in there because I may have to take another bath. And I did that about 5, 6 more times. I didn't get to sleep until about 10 a.m. this morning. Woke up around 3 p.m. Just, I feel a lot better. I will say that. I feel a hell of a lot better. And also, I had, like I said, I had food poisoning about a month ago. And it was very similar to what I had yesterday. Okay? Same thing, just, it was the same pretty much. Same except for one thing. I was having Charlie horses in my legs. The most excruciating Charlie horses I've felt in a while. Because I would just I would be stretch my legs out, and all of a sudden my calf would just clamp up. I would watch it. Ah! I was screaming. I'm sure my neighbors weren't happy. But it was excruciating. The pain. Yeah, it just... Do yourself a favor. Yeah, don't get food poisoning. But go to Benihana'S. Benihana'S was amazing. Like I said, our chef was fucking awesome. The people sucked. There was this one girl there. Me and Yuli afterwards was like, dude, did you see that one girl? Yeah, she was smoking hot. She looked like this one girl I used to date way back in the day, but whatever. We all used to date that girl back in the day. Anyhow. Yeah, Benihana'S, I want to say thank you. Thank you for your awesomeness. Thank you for the Memorial Day thing for veterans. Thank you. Thank you to your staff. Thank you to your chefs, and thank you to everybody there. This goes out to the Benihana'S in Santa Monica. You guys have always been phenomenal. The girl at the front was just incredible, and I love her smile. And yeah, and we had a great time up until the shitstorm, literally. But yeah, so that's what happened. That's my story. Whew. I'm very thankful the other people didn't show up. And I apologize, dude. I'm so sorry. You know, I tell you all the time I'm sorry. I text them, I'm sorry, I suck. Because I felt bad. Because like I said, we were going to go get donuts and shit. Fuck me, fuck my life, fuck my body, fuck food poisoning. That's bullshit. But anyhow, Yuli's the best. Benihana'S kicks ass. I'm glad I lived to tell a story. Yeah. Alright. Alright. I'm out of here. I'm skippysimon. I'm going to just take it easy today. I don't even feel like eating. Just going to take it easy. I had a rough last night. I got to wear this to breathe. Isn't that crazy? Alright, I'm out of here. You stay awesome. I'm skippysimon. Bye.